All right. Hello, welcome to the fourth video lecture. Today we're going to be going over sentence sequence. So these types of questions are pretty common. You'll see about like anywhere from 1 to 3 of them on the SAT. And basically these just go over like logical placement of sentences, like the logical sequence. So yeah, they'll basically give you a sentence within the paragraph, and then they'll just ask you to like either keep it in the same place or move it to another location to a place where it makes the most sense. And like an alternative version of this question is paragraph placement, and these will just ask you like to place like the paragraphs in order to make the passage coherent. Um, just for the sake of time, I'm not going to be going over them, but like paragraph questions, it's just the same steps that you need to follow. So I'm just going to be explaining how to solve sentence sequencing problems. And yeah, so yeah, you'll be given a sentence and you'll be given an option to keep it in the same place and 3 options to move the sentence. So the biggest keys to like answering these questions are to understand the meaning of the sentence and like the meaning of the paragraph, and to find like certain clues within the sentence, such as pronouns and like sequencing terms. So I'll just get right into strategy right now. So the first thing you want to do is read through the paragraph and put the meaning of each sentence into your own words. So pretty much just like know the basic message of each sentence and like kind of construct a flow of information. So yeah, if you have a good understanding of each sentence, then you should be able to get a pretty good idea of the right sentence sequence. So what this means is like if you have like your main ideas of all the sentences kind of just all in a row, and then the sentence that's like the question's asking you to sequence, if that one contains information that kind of like doesn't belong where it is, but would like fit somewhere else in like the general flow of information, then that's where it should be moved. So yeah, just use the meaning and you can get like a pretty good idea of where it should go. And then yeah, if you aren't really sure, you can use these next clues, um, which are like pronouns and sequencing terms. But yeah, so you want to test the given sentence at the current point it's at to see if it makes sense. And if not, just try all the other answer choices. Yeah, so what I said is pronouns and sequencing terms can help you get like a pretty good idea of where it should go. Like if the sentence contains a pronoun like they or it, then it should follow a sentence where, like, the pronoun they or it has already been explained. So you'll just see what I really mean when I solve these questions later. And then, like, they'll often contain, like, sequence terms such as first, next, second, last, finally, yeah, stuff like that. And then, if the sentence contains information that only makes sense after a certain sentence, then this also helps you sequence. So I'll just explain that later too. So this first example, this is about Russian novelist Fyodor Dostoyevsky. I think that's how you say it. So right now, I'm just gonna run through my steps. First, I'll look at the question. It says to make the paragraph most logical, sentence 3 should be placed A where it is now, B after sentence 1, C after sentence 4, and D after sentence 5. So let's look at sentence 3. In the consideration of his writing, the details of that stressful experience have largely overshadowed the importance of his return to society. All right, so I'm going to go through my first step, which is just reading through it and putting all the sentences into my own words. So this first one, the main idea is Fyodor Dostoyevsky was imprisoned for 9 years in Siberia. Second question, when he returned, or second sentence, when he returned, he got into like these debates about human nature. And then the third one, um, his imprisonment. I can assume that that stressful experience in the sentence is referring to his imprisonment. So his imprisonment has had like a bigger influence on his writing than his return to society after being imprisoned. And then next, he founded a new political journal. That's the main idea. And then the last one is his experiences, such as his imprisonment, influenced his later novels. So Right here, I can see that the flow of information is not really correct because it goes from his imprisonment to his return, and then a comparison of um, his imprisonment, and then an introduction of his return. So I'm thinking that sentence three should be put after sentence one because it kind of bridges the gap between these two. Remember what I said about pronouns and like kind of missing information? It says the details of that stressful experience. That stressful experience we can assume to be his imprisonment. However, sentence three is put after sentence two, which doesn't make sense because if it says that stressful experience, his return to St. Petersburg is not a stressful experience. So sentence three is not in the right place, and the correct answer is B after sentence one. If you like want further confirmation of this answer, you can just see that at the end of sentence three, it says the details of that stressful experience have largely overshadowed the importance of his return to society. And then sentence two talks about his return to society. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for that question. And here's another example question. This one's talking about the lion dance, which is a traditional dance in China, I believe. Yeah, to celebrate Chinese New Year. Um, yeah, so this pretty much talks about the lion dance costume and like different colors and decorations, what they represent, and in terms of like the culture, I guess. So to make this paragraph most logical, sentence five should be placed A where it is now, B after sentence one, C after sentence three, and D after sentence seven. So let's look at sentence five. Their older counterparts, yellow and white lines, dance more slowly and deliberately. So the fact that it says their older counterparts tells me that it's going to be after a sentence that has a like plural subject, and it's generally going to, or I'm thinking right now that it's going to be like some type of lion. So some group of lions because it says their older counterparts, yellow and white lions. So yellow and white lines are the counterparts of some other type of lines, which I can assume to be in the sentence before that. So that would disqualify B after sentence one as an answer because that doesn't really talk about like multiple lines. So if I get so right now I'm pretty much only worried about C after sentence three and D after sentence seven, or A where it is now. That all makes sense. But right now I'm just gonna skip this step of um like reading through each sentence and getting the main idea because like sentences three through eight are just talking about pretty much the different colors of lions and like what each color symbolizes. So yeah, I'm just gonna test it out at A, C, and D. So A, where it is now, um, it says I'll go to the sentence before that. Golden and red lions represent liveliness and bravery, respectively. Their older counterparts, yellow and white lines, dance more slowly and deliberately. So it does make sense, kind of, to talk about golden and red lions, and then in the next sentence talk about their older counterparts. However, it says in sentence five, they dance more slowly and deliberately. Um, but the sentence before that doesn't talk about how golden and red lions dance, so it shouldn't be A where it is now. And if I look at the other choices, it makes the most sense at D after sentence seven, because sentence seven is black lions are the youngest, therefore they dance quickly and playfully. And then sentence five is going to be put right after that. Their older counterparts, the older counterparts of the black lions, yellow and white lions dance more slowly and deliberately. So that just is a contrast to the quick and playful dancing style of the black lions. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my explanation of these sequencing sentences. Hopefully this helped a bit. I included 3 practice problems. So yeah, there's answers at the end. And yeah, thanks for watching.